Siona God, hello, all Osh afternoon, good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. So this is day 19 of reading Lone Wolf Alpha Squad copy over by James Rink, and we're reading about his experiences. Apparently, she witnessed the military sending mind control soldiers through stargates, only to be returned a few seconds later by 7-foot-tall reptilian beings who were dragging these soldiers back, only to become engulfed with smoke and ash that disintegrated into dust. Apparently, these reptilian beings were from the 6th dimension, and the human body cannot tolerate that frequency without burning into ash. This is because the dimensional clash causes the static charge within our body, which superheats, resulting in spontaneous combustion. Wow. Heather suggested to her commander to send one of the SS units she was prototyping. Immediately, one of these reptilian beings grabbed her commander, pulled him through the Stargate, and threw his charred body back and sent her a strong telepathic message. That is a no. Okay. Eventually, these reptilian beings started taking over the base, and apparently one of them took a liking to her and helped her escape. When she was shown a way out, the being told her, what? Oh, okay, here we go. It normally has it just has a period. But anyway, here it comes in quotes. Some of us are here to control this planet, some to enslave it further. Wow. Must wish to rule and claim it, but we are here to protect it. Cloned, and then that's in quotes, cloned super warriors. According to Dr. Bill Daigle, Deagle, maybe it's Deagle, like Beagle, I don't know. In 1982, at the Moscow Institute of Biological Research, Russian and American scientists successfully produced the first cloned super warrior. But these clones did not have a soul and it's probably but it literally says, and a result, they are not as effective fighters than the original host, nor could they transfer a soul into these clones. Only one's personality and emotions. As far as I know, they cannot touch the soul as much as they really want to. Well, that's a good thing. So they came up with an ingenious plan. They would connect the super soldier's consciousness, or you could call it the alter personality, into a cloned avatar which contained DNA similar to that particular super soldier. This way, a super soldier can be living out their life in society at large while their alter is in a cloned avatar doing covert missions on and off this planet. And it says, I've been told these avatars may be called Sibeus, Sibeus, and Arbius, Arbeus, which is based on the word Swebaz, Swebaz, from the Proto-Germanic root SWE, meaning one's own people. This is done with trip chair programming, femtites, and biological implants, which are untraceable under MRI. The implants help with tracking, monitoring, and reinforcing the programming. They are activated by single or multi-tone inaudible sound frequencies, which turn on tiny biobots known as femtites and or proteinites, proteinites, which connect to protein codons within the DNA and can actually mutate the DNA code, triggering the emergence of the alter personality, which in this case is, what I just thought of is how they show it to us in sci-fi, is they always call them like nanos, like nanodes or nanobites, or what are those those little tiny things that they send in to regrow something or to just form something in general by connecting to each other. Nanobots. I think it's nanobots, isn't it? But yeah, and they're just they almost look like I don't know, microscopic ants that go through and form chains of things or whatever. Anyways, and I wonder if that's how they are alerting us of that technology, is through stuff like that. Anyway, which in this case is within a cloned avatar, all without leaving one's own home. That's crazy. Which connect to protein codons within the DNA and can actually mutate the DNA code, triggering emergence of the alter personality. That's insane. Femtite biobots are a type of alien femto technology which is injected into my labs, made from the word femto plus technites. These tiny biobots can manipulate nuclear energies and building atoms, as well as manipulating the energy of quarks. A quark is an elementary particle and a fundamental constituent of matter. Quarks combine to form composite particles called hadrons, the most stable of which are protons and neutrons, the components of atomic nuclei. Femtites can change the quarks in the atoms to make whatever atom you want, and they can alter DNA structures in a human body on the molecular as well as the subatomic level, blocking or enhancing numerous metabolic processes in the body. So it's nano plus technites equals nanites, and in parentheses it's nano times 10 to the 9th, and then femto plus technites equals femtites, and in parentheses femto times 10 to the 15th. NHCUs. NHCUs stand for non-human cybernetic units. They are basically clone soldiers plugged into the AI matrix. They have been in operation since at least 1989. They come in various packages and sizes. There are reports from U.S. military C-130 pilots, which may give you an idea how tall and heavy they could be. Fixtures latched into the cargo bay have been seen, which outline a humanoid shape, with tie-downs that would hold a very large NHCU with boot fixtures to accommodate boots 36 inches in height, so 3 foot in height, which reminds me of a video game that we played like years ago, and it had like this Titan thing in it, and like what it was is like the human would climb up in there and operate this thing. And so like I wonder if they went from creating those really big people, like if beforehand, like in the evolution of or whatever, they created those big O things that people then climb up into, and it had these massive guns and rocket launcher things and stuff in there. I don't remember the name of the thing, but anyways, they are being embedded into field operations with conventional ground troops so that the AI computers can direct troop movements through the digital interfaces within the NHCU in a real-time format. NHCUs have been seen by U.S. Army Special Forces and U.S. Army Military Police. There is at least one unit per battalion, which contains about 1,000 troops. Battalions rely heavily on the NHCU Effects Coordination Cell, ECC, in parentheses, to plan, coordinate, and integrate into a battalion's combined arms operations, including infantry, tank, artillery, and reconnaissance. According to testimony from Sergeant Dan MacBolean, MacBolean, who witnessed one of these beings, I saw some of these NHCUs while on duty. It was after a high wind sandstorm that ripped the roll-up doors off of a QUONSET Quonset hut housing a platoon of these units. 2 of them picked up the 600-pound door with one hand and put it back in place. All were approximately 7 foot plus, so 7 plus in height, and were dressed as Marine grunts. Each unit was identical in every way: hair color, eye color, and body muscle mass. No markings upon any uniform. All were required to wear wraparound sunglasses even at night. Identification of intimate. I'm trying to read too quick. Let me slow down. As I like look at the time, like, oh my God, I gotta hurry it up. Okay, so all were required to wear wraparound and sunglasses even at night. Identification of intimate details were confirmed only by military police, who in all intents and purposes were identical to these units, only because they were forced to interface with organic soldiers, i.e. the reporting non-commissioned officer. Years ago, the military placed some of these NHCU dressed in the same white armor as Star Wars clone army elements. Whoa. We thought it was a joke that Reagan was playing back in '88, but these efforts were these NHCU telling military dependents, move along, citizen, once they had checked their military IDs. We laughed about it, but this was what we were seeing. Whoa. I think I encountered an NHCU at Mount Weather in Berryville, Virginia. Upon riding the bus to Mount Weather, we encountered base security. They had no thoughts at all as they moved through the buses, checking IDs, and they had no effing writing on them. No pictures, nothing but barcodes and magnetic strips. How in the F can a human read barcodes and mag strips? That makes me wonder, Like, is that why we have people that are like 7 foot tall, in general? Because when they were breaking down the Social Security numbers in previous pages, it was talking about how they're descendants of fill in the blank. So they're descendants of the super soldiers and blah, 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 right? But they weren't able to be soldiers themselves. So I wonder if they then become the athletes and whatnot, right? So it makes it more like a bit of the norm. Like if you were to see somebody walk by and they're like the size of Shaq or something, right? I was like, oh, well, they must come from a family of athletes, or they must be athletic themselves, or, you know what I mean? Your mind rationalizes it because you've already seen it before, right? Also, they showed no emotion. Even when I attempted to invoke an emotional response, they had no thoughts that I could sense, even though I was at very, very close range. These MFers look, smell, feel human, but they are not. Hell, using them in civil affairs operations where interfacing with humans is a very intense operation. What the F is right? NHCUs are not police elements themselves. They can call the police on you silently, alerting the cops to come and get you if you don't check out via the ID card that has no effing pictures, no effing writing. I was curious about this for years. When I reached the dumb portals, I heard a robotic voice say, "Move along, please," over and over again. And then multiple lasers flashed on my chest with more robotic voice commands. "Move along, please. Move along, please." I was clinging to the dang fence, about to have a heart attack, and these effing things had no idea what was happening to me. I had to walk uphill to get to the chow hall with a walking cane and backpack, out of breath, clinging to the fence. I guess they would have called someone if I had collapsed, but I doubt it. Effing robot-toyed MFers. No wonder everybody at Mount Weather was tight-lipped. No joking, cautious people, same shit at Dreamland. Sea spray, in all caps. And then it says, these MFers are NHCUs as well. They are the second line of defense in and around DUMBs. Yellow fruit are the first line of defense and can be very nasty fellows. There have been many who attempted to intimidate me and others in the Rachel area, but due to their lack of social skills are very easy to confuse. Humbrids are the camo dudes. At least they get angry and have hissy fits, but sea spray are just effing machines. Yellow fruit are DNA/RNA recombinant soldiers, but not what you would find as an alien-human hybrid. More along the lines of having the MIC/MIEC as their manufacturers. I call these humbrids as they are human-bred units with varying combinations of alien, animal, and human characteristics. Whatever blends that meets the MIEC or the MIC's needs/requirements. During one visit to the S4 DUM, I was personally referred to as a yellow fruit for my annual checkup. Yellow fruit, what does that mean? Having once been interviewed and interrogated, oh, there it is, DNA, RNA, recumbent soldiers, got it, but not the alien-human hybrid. Having once been interviewed and interrogated by a female reticulan who was with some sort of short gray described as a non-thinking intelligence by the female, I was curious and couldn't concentrate on questions. Due to the odd way the small gray, in parentheses it says DOW, would blink. Only after the female became impatient, she telepathically interfaced with the DOW to show that it was merely a subservient tool for labor. When at rest, the DOW would blink its eyes opposite of each other. Then, when possessed or accused by the female, it would blink with both eyes simultaneously. It then gave an emotional expression that I then realized came from the female. Then it went back to staring down to its right, and the odd blinking returned. It was then that I was able to continue with the questioning. She had just demonstrated what it was for my curiosity, so we could return to the interview/interrogation. Oh, we gotta end it there. Done to go hang, get you in a good chance until we meet again. Love you, mean it.